On the 9th day of Trace, my therapist prescribed to me 6 years of WLW. Welcome back, and if you've been following me through my 12 days of Trace, where I drink different Buffalo Trace things each day for 12 days leading up and concluding on Christmas, thank you very much. This has been really fun. This will be my second guest on my 12 days of Trace.
All right.
I had Kev on where we did batches 11 through 24B of Stag.
Ooh, good one.
Ranked, blind and ranked, that was a long day. Luckily,
Yeah.
we are only doing 6 here, so I should be feeling a little bit better, but tomorrow.
Yeah, well, some good stuff too.
Yeah. So I have my buddy Billy here. You would have seen him on the last 5 years of Thomas H. Handy, where we blind and ranked those. And we're kind of doing the same thing with WLW, except we're going back 6 years, and we don't have the 24 release. We have up until 23. The 24s just got released around us, and I don't think anybody else.
We don't really have anyone that knows, or know anyone that has it.
Yeah. So we have the 18, which holds a special place in my heart. It's very sentimental to me. We opened that the day I brought my daughter home from the hospital right here. Billy was here that night, along with a couple other people that you would have seen on the channel, actually. And then we have the 19, which I've never tried. It's a sample, and I've heard really good things about it. I'm anticipating it to maybe do really well, but I've never had it. We have the 20, which is a lot of people's all-time favorite.
Love it, yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where it falls, to say the least. We have the 21, which I suspect might be my favorite, which is my bottle. I just opened that. And actually, we just bottle killed the 18 behind. You can see it behind me. But that was the 18 of that bottle that I mentioned. We have the 21 that I just did a fresh crack on. I've tried samples of it multiple times. I really enjoy the 21. We have the 22. I know you said you were a big fan of that.
Yeah, I've tried. I like it a lot. Yeah.
And I, along with a few, probably 5 or 6 other buddies, we opened and finished a bottle of it at a bar. They had $30 2-ounce pours of it. And when we saw that, I mean, we went through the whole thing. I suspect that will probably fall a bit lower on my list, but we'll see what happens. And then we have the 23, which I've never had.
And I love.
And this was a fresh crack of your bottle.
I think for me, I think it's going to be between the 23 and the 20. My thought is, but we'll see. Last time I did a prediction, it was completely the other way.
Yeah. So we're going to go through each one. We're going to be drinking the same thing at the same time. They're all blind to us. After we give our kind of thoughts on each one, we'll jump to the results while we are ranking them and figuring out what our order is. Right. Okay, on to sample A.
Okay.
Ooh. It smells like, I mean, this is going to sound silly, but it smells like typical weeded Buffalo Trace, but there's a syrupiness to it, whereas...
Yeah, like a nice rich, it's a rich, like creme brulee.
Yeah, I almost get like a licorice note, like a red licorice note, a red syrup. And then there's a little bit, there's the faintest kind of darkness or like chocolate thing on there. Strawberry syrup, cinnamon, baking spice.
Oh, I got that cinnamon as soon as you said that.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, a rich caramel. It's not super oak forward. And I looked it up, they're all about 12 years. Or they all have like a 12-year statement. Okay. These ones, some of the years have different ages on them. For these, they're all the...
It's got like it's like a nut thing, like a almond-y.
Yeah.
Ish. A lighter nut. At least I think of almonds as being kind of a lighter nut.
Yeah, I get that. Or maybe like a Di Serrano, like an almond liqueur kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like orgeat, an almond syrup type of thing. That mixed with
the
like
syrup thing, yeah. I liked when you said the syrup thing.
Yeah.
This has a syrupy on the nose. It was totally that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, on to B. Oh.
Wow. That's special.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dark.
That's rich.
Oak, rich, almost maple syrup.
Yeah. Wow.
Ooh. Funky oak.
Oh my gosh.
There's almost like a pear thing in here too.
That is scrumtrelescent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Pancake syrup, caramel, cinnamon. The red fruit's there, but this is a much darker expression than the last one.
Yeah, wow. That's special.
Yeah, that one's gonna be hard to beat.
I'm already excited. I'm like, this is gonna go right after the front here.
Yeah. Okay, on to C. Much lighter.
Still great on the nose. Wow.
Yeah. It's not as dark as B though. This has like a fruit cocktail syrup. Just on the nose alone, if you said this was like a really good Old Forester product, I'd be like, okay, I can kind of see where it's got that cocktail syrup.
Okay.
There's the oak, there's the caramel.
It's like a caramel corn.
Mm-hmm.
Sugary caramel like that.
Like a cream corn. Like there's that creaminess thing on the nose with the sweet corn.
That's got a deeper nutty thing on the palate. Like peanut. To me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's different.
Yeah, the palate on this one was different than the nose. This one on the palate was what I expected after the nose.
Yeah. That's interesting. See where that one lands. I mean, this one's still really good.
Oh, yeah.
But
there isn't going to be a bad one in these
Yeah.
6. There can't be anything that gets shunned in these 6 pours.
Yeah. All right, on to D. Okay.
Ooh, God, that's like B again, where it's just, wow.
Yeah, this has more of a floral or perfume thing,
Yeah.
along with some rich dark oak and caramel and red fruit. I would agree. This is kind of, yeah, more on par with B.
Ooh. Oh.
Ooh. That is a, man, I don't even know. That's like a melted Werther's.
Ooh, that's a good one to
It's like-
describe it. Yeah.
It has like this silky, dark caramel flavor, and not like burnt caramel or not chocolate, or it's like a very creamy caramel,
yeah.
but it's like melted.
I like the word melted with
Yeah.
that for some reason.
Yeah.
Melted caramel. Yeah.
I'm looking for the fruit notes too, because that's what you get out of Buffalo Trace, but on top of Buffalo Trace, Weller specifically, I always get like that strawberry thing, sometimes grape, but
I get, to be honest, with a lot of this stuff so far, I'm getting what I usually pick up. You mentioned like the really kind of premium Brown Foreman stuff.
yeah.
And that, I think, I get a lot of the similar kind of notes with like Heaven Hill, like the really premium Heaven Hill stuff, especially like some pre-fire stuff. And it's got that perfumey note.
Man, that one's good.
It really is.
That one's good. They're I guess at the reveal I'll say. Yeah, the more I drink it, I'm starting to get some of that oak on there, but maybe A and C have like popped out as having that fruit thing, and maybe a little bit of B, but it's not as fruit forward as.
I'm not afraid of some oakiness too. I like
Yeah.
a little oakiness.
I just expected more red fruit
Yeah.
than what I'm getting so far. Interesting.
Ooh, gosh.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to be kind of redundant on so much of this because it's just all of it's so good.
Mm-hmm. This is funky. This
That's
almost
a
has
little
like
funk to it.
a mushroom or vegetal or like dusty bourbon.
I get the dusty, yeah.
It's got a funky oak to it. Maybe like a pear on there.
like it's some.
Oh, I like that one a lot. That one's really good. It has a lot more going on.
The palate is excellent.
Yeah, it's got on the finish, it has this lingering barrel spice. It has this lingering oak and cinnamon. It's got that funky kind of bourbon of yesteryear thing. It also has this kind of like pear quality to it. That's really good. I like that one.
You know what that one kind of reminds me of? I mean, I know it's totally different, but in the kind of same vein as the GTS 19, where I feel like this is such a good straightforward pour.
Oh yeah.
Like the GTS 19 is such a good straightforward bourbon. That one, it stayed in its lane, and it's a good lane.
I would almost disagree. What I like about that one is it branched off and did other things, where some of the other ones were a little bit more straightforward. Yeah, because it had like the funky oak, the barrel spice, the cinnamon.
Okay, you're not wrong. Yeah, the nose did go on. For me, the palate stayed in its lane, but you're right. The nose.
Oh, I got it on the palate too.
Oh, I didn't get it on the palate. But yeah, that nose had some funk to it.
All right, on to F.
F, yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. We're saying wow on all these. Like,
I know this one I think is going to be closest to B.
Oof.
Where it's dark.
Buttery.
Yeah.
Buttery.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one has funky oak.
Yeah, that's got some good funky oak on it. Yeah, strong oak. There's a little bit of peanut on that one to me. Not as much as D. I think it was D that had the peanut for me. No. It was C that had the peanut for me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think so. That one has. That one's good. That one has funkiness, funky barrel. If I were to, I'm not necessarily trying to guess, but if I were to guess of some of the ones that have that funky thing, I always described the 21 WLW as Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Pirate Bottle meets Buffalo Trace Weeded Mash Bill. So when I come across one that has that, I kind of am leaning towards thinking.
You're thinking that's 21?
I'm thinking this one is, or maybe one of the earlier ones I said that had the funk on it.
Okay.
And then I always get on the 18 this vanilla pound cake. It's a little bit lighter, but by itself it's really nuanced, but it is a little bit more delicate. So I was kind of looking for maybe, or thinking which one that could have been, but.
Your flavor vocabulary is very good.
Man, I don't know how hard or, I don't know how difficult or easy this will be, but we are going to, we're going to take on that challenge. So we'll be right back with our results.
I'm ready, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
It's a hard burden to bear. But
yeah.
I believe in you. I think we can do it.
Thanks, man.
All right, so we'll be right back with the results.
Wow. I just powered through all the noses back to back.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a freaking bad nose among them.
Oh, yeah, D and B. Although D was a little bit lighter on the...
D's lighter, yeah.
On the palate, but it's darker. E's moving up. The more I come back to each of them too, the better they get.
Dude. I've really been thinking this whole time that B was going to win it for me, and I feel like D just ended up coming through. I like the nose on B a little bit more though. But I think I like the palate and the finish on D more.
Okay, we are back, and that was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Ah, man. I guess let's just start with our last place and work our way up. Not that any of these were really last place.
Yeah, last place.
What did you have for last place?
I had E.
You had E as your last place?
I did, yeah.
Okay, we can go with your order first, I guess. So your last place, I had E as my fourth place.
No freaking way. No freaking way, man.
Woo! I'm so happy to see that.
I am not.
I'm so happy to see that.
Man, blinds, man.
Billy's last place, which I think he said was his first. And Billy's
It
last.
was going to be one of the first.
And my fourth place is the 2020 William Larue Weller.
No.
Everybody, this is a lot of people's darling year. And
no.
every time I have
it is a darling year.
It is. I mean, it's a very good year.
Oh my god!
But they have other years that I just really enjoy. So the 2020 comes in at 134.5 proof. So that is the.
This last no.
I love it.
Oh, I'm not gonna live this down, man.
No,
it's a thing for me now.
Yeah. So Mr. Therapist over here, he has a complex because he put his last place, Thomas H. Handy, as first place when we did the 5 years of Handy.
And now,
so our local community will literally never let him live this down.
No.
Nor
should you.
Yeah, we filmed that episode months and months ago, and earlier today, people were commenting on it in a local group. So that's great. All right, let's not belabor this too much. So what is your second to last place?
No. 22.
No, C.
Oh, C. Oh, yeah.
So what was your second to last place?
C.
So your fifth place, my last place is C, which is going to be the 2022. That makes me happy because I always say that is my least favorite of all of the years that I've tried.
Yeah.
I not a 22 is great. They're all great. My issue with 22 is I say that it's basically a foolproof, or it's a barrel proof, Weller foolproof.
Yeah.
It tastes like it's more Buffalo Trace-y at barrel proof rather than the 114 or whatever.
I can see that.
So honestly, I am on a roll for what my
you're on a roll. I'm on an
are.
anti-roll.
And the 2022 comes in at 124.7 proof. So what is your, I guess...
Fourth place?
Yes.
Fourth place? A.
Okay. Your fourth place is A. This is going to be my third place.
Okay. We're cool. We're pretty close.
Fairly. 2019.
19. Okay.
Okay. I had really, really high hopes for the 19. It is very good. It's really good. But did I note anything specific on the...
This means that your 21 is definitely in the top 3.
No. That's not necessarily. So...
Oh, yeah.
So my third place was A, which was the 19. We are into your second place? No, I'm
third
sorry.
Place.
So what is your third place?
F.
And my fifth place is F. So Billy and I, our top two are the same, actually, same order too. So this will clear up all the discrepancies between us. So my fifth place, your third place
18.
is 18. And I kind of had a feeling maybe.
Our
18.
bottom 4 were not that far off from one another.
No. And the 18 comes in at 125.7 proof. It really does drink one of the lighter ones of them. Like I said, I always get this vanilla frosting, this pound cake. By itself, you really pick up some of these nice nuances. When you have it next to some of these ones that have a darker profile, that kind of gets washed out. And that, in its credit, that was a bottle. I mean, we literally just killed it. It was very close to being empty.
It's sad to see bottle kills, but it's also like very empowering.
Yes. Okay, so
Like we did it.
So there we go, on to our second place.
So this is where you and I are. We have the same.
Yeah. So our second place
B.
is the 2023.
No way! That means B is 21.
2023. B.
It's excellent.
So I was back and forth with.
Me too.
With my first and second place. I was like, man, I was really going back and forth. I landed on the 23 being. Oh, this is great. I landed on 23 being my second place, which means both of our first place is
2021. Wow. Okay.
I have always said 21 is my all-time favorite year. I'm
Drop it. Mic drop.
Spiking my notebook there.
As you should.
2021 is my all-time favorite. I have argued this with so many people.
You argued it with me, and I actually said, I don't know. Like, we tried it here, and you're like, trust me, it is. And then here we go, and I put it in first place.
21 has this Pirate Bottle Elijah Craig barrel proof. meets Buffalo Trace weeded mash bill with this pear, so you get like this funky oak, and then like the chocolate and the maple syrup, and then but you have this nice pear that kind of goes across the top of that too to balance it out. I love the 2021 WLW, and it's really I was a little concerned. I thought I was probably putting the 2020 as number one. That's kind of where I thought we were going with it.
I swear, dude, I thought the 2020 and the 2023 were going to be there. I'll be honest, the 23 on the nose is still my favorite, but the palate and the finish on the 21 was
And I didn't cover the proof on the 21, so I'm almost certain the 125.3 is going to be the 21.
Yeah, the 133.6 is the 23.
Yeah, so we're gonna celebrate with one last little guy here of this.
Wow.
I'm
okay. You're stoked.
Yeah. I don't know what else. Yeah, there it is. Boom. I have argued this with everyone. It has reigned supreme. My Thomas H. Handies, I said the 21 Handy was my favorite Handy, and it turned out to be true.
21. You like 21.
I do.
Yeah.
The 21 GTS is my favorite.
Yeah, it is my favorite too. Yeah.
It's a non-existent year for you guys. If anybody didn't know that, they didn't release the GTS in 2021. This will conclude day 9. This one's going to be a little bit longer episode, obviously, but this will conclude day 9 of my 12 days of trace, and this will wrap up the weeded mash bill for my 12 days of trace. I started off with Old Rip Van Winkle, then I went Lot B, then Pappy 15, then Weller Millennium.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then this is going to wrap up the weeded mash bill for my 12 days of trace. Stick around tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be another monster. And then we're just going to keep it going until we close it out on Christmas Day. Billy, thank you for being on here. And as always, Bourbon Experience is all about good pours and great times with whoever with. What's meant to be enjoyed, so crack those balls. Cheers.
21. Oh my gosh.